Okay, so it's 15th of April 2018. I'm at Site 1 this time, as opposed to where I normally go. Reason being is there's features in this part of the wood that are not represented in the other part of the wood particularly well. So that will be shown in video 2. Okay, so this video predominantly is just one to answer the critics. I do get a lot of hostile remarks and the likes for making out I'm some sort of idiot or delusional to believe in the things that I'm reporting on. Well, I'm sorry, but if you can't take it, then just move on. You know, don't believe me. It's not my problem. You know, the truth will come out eventually, and then I'll be proven correct. So if you're prepared to swallow your pride and apologise to me at a later stage, then by all means have a comment. Add a comment that's ridiculing what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to educate you to something that is going on here in the UK. It's a difficult one, I know. I'm not I'm not disputing that fact, but I think you need to have a bit more of an open mind, because yes, it is challenging, but it is real. Okay, I'm reporting on something that is actually happening here in our UK woodlands. Alright, so are they here in the UK? Okay, you're not going to believe me. Some of you out there are not going to believe me, so I thought I'd do a little bit of extra research myself and come up with some, you know, compelling evidence. Alright, so Bigfoot in Europe. Here we have a coin from let me have a look at the date. It's 1682. Okay, so 100 years before the American independence, War of Independence, which was what, 1783? Okay, so 100 years before. And look, there's a portrayal of a wild man holding a tree. Now he's just got some leaves around his waist and a human looking face, and he's standing in the forest. Now this coin's from Germany, so it's still Europe, but it's still confirming that they're here in Europe, well, 300 to 400 years ago. Okay, not very long when you consider things that have taken place in our history. Okay, and here I'll just show you a better, hopefully a better close-up view of what he looks like. That's on a computer screen, so it's getting a bit of a glare, but you can basically see what he looks like. Okay, in the UK we have the Green Man and the Woodwuss, which are constantly portrayed in church architecture, medieval manuscripts. So the evidence is there. So it's not much of a thought process to put the two and two together. So if this was happening 300 to 400 years ago, before reports of Bigfoot in America were being recorded in modern day times, sort of written about, then it's not too much of a consideration to think that yes, stories of them being here were the case back all those years ago. Now, that was for 300 to 400 years ago. Okay, are they here now? Alright, well, I'm standing right next to one of the features, a tree arch. Now, it's a common thing found in America, and it's being pinned down there. Okay, so it's not much of a hard task to say, okay, so there is certain features here in the UK that are similar to those in America. Now, we're getting modern day reports of people witnessing these things. It's not just me. And what I've confirmed so far has been honest and accurate reports of Sasquatch-like behaviour here in the UK. I've reported wood knocks. There's people in Alaska that have listened to the recording, or the video that I say there's proof of them being here. A Sasquatch sound analysis, I would say expert, because they can hear things that I can't hear in that recording, but they are reporting back to me certain things like vocalizations, speech, that are similar to those reported in America. Bit clicks, I never even heard of those until that person had actually reported it to me. They are the same as reported in America as they are what's being recorded here in this UK woodland. Alright, so I've given you the evidence. Now for you to then turn around and call me delusional means that you've not done the research yourself. I've spent over 6 years doing this here in this particular woodland, and it's a mammoth task to try and get the evidence. I can't do it. The evidence I've reported on so far is compelling, but it's not concrete evidence. Okay, but I'm backing that up with my own personal accounts of what's been happening. You don't have to believe me. All I would say is, if you don't believe me, go into the woodlands yourself and have a look, because you will eventually stumble across evidence like I have. And then if you spend the time and have the patience, then eventually, and particularly if you go out at night time, because that is only that is when they're active, you know, more active. It's very difficult seeing them in the daytime and getting the sort of interactions. We only go out at night time to get the interactions, and boy, we have the interactions. Again, you don't have to believe me, but in video 3 I'm going to take it a step further. I've already reported on various things that I've encountered, but that is only scratching the surface of the other stuff that I have encountered. It's not my problem if you don't believe me. You know, the truth will come out eventually. And you know, but here we are. There's a very nice tree arch, and I haven't been to this site one in over a year, and I'm going to have a look around because there's a lot of things that have changed. I haven't seen any fresh evidence, but I'm sure there's some there, so I'm going to have a look in a minute and record that. But yeah, I thought here you go. Before even the war, you know, 100 years before the War of Independence in America, 100 years before, and there's the evidence. Okay, I'm holding it in my hands. So for those people in America, they're saying, you know, steer clear because Bigfoot's just an American thing. You know, there's no evidence of it here in the UK or Europe. Well, there you go. Have a look at that first before making those sorts of insulting comments, because I'm telling you the truth. It's not my problem if you don't believe me. And there you go. There is modern evidence of their activity here in the UK to date, and I'm backing that up with my own personal statement to say I have had close interactions on an ongoing basis repeatedly over the last 2 years with these forest people, and they are lovely, kind souls, and they mean good. If you annoy them, you don't want to be on the receiving end of it. But I'll get to that at a later stage. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, and if you're interested and you've got an open mind and you can run with this a little bit further, then I've got some extra information to back up what I'm trying to say to you. So don't come back to me saying I'm delusional. I'm reporting on something that is actually physically happening here with myself and my colleague who come out here with me, who will gladly report what I'm saying is absolutely true. You have to personally experience these situations before you can actually say, yeah, okay, I'm a believer. So all I'm asking is to have a bit more of an open mind and not be insulting, because I'm not going to bother responding anymore. I'm getting a bit tired of it. So many comments that people say making out I'm a fruitcake. I'm not. I'm a pioneer in this, and some people have to step out of their comfort zone to actually report on things that people won't believe, and I've done that, and I'm now trying to put the pieces together so people out there can have a bit more of an open mind. And sure enough, lots of people are going out into the forest now and finding similar things as I am, so, and having other experiences. So I'm not the only one now. But 6 years ago there wasn't many of us here in the UK looking for these features. But boy, have I opened Pandora's box with regards to my interactions with them. I'm only going to give you, in video 3, I'm only going to give you a snapshot of a little bit of that. And I'm going to step back and see how that is taken on board. Okay, so for now, I'm leaving it here. Over and out.